Hi everyone. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Evernew ultralight Appalachian set. You can see here that the Evernew Appalachian set is very small. It is a 550 milliliter pot, so no matter how you look at it, it is probably the smallest one of the cook sets that I have, and I do find that it is useful for if I want to do something for day hiking. I don't really think it's very practical for going out on a camping trip for me, because the way that I camp is I like to have a little bit more volume to make my dehydrated meals, and I also like to have a cup to drink out of. So this is mainly just for me to go day hiking, or when I go out fishing, fly fishing. I do use this to just quickly cook up a meal on the side of the bank, and I won't really need a hot drink to sit by a campfire or anything like that, because I'm really just cooking lunch, having it, and then on my way. And that's why I do like to use the alcohol stove for that, because I can just bring a very small container of alcohol, probably like 30 or 60 milliliters, and it'll be enough to boil the water in here. And I don't really have to worry about bringing an entire fuel canister with me. So opening up the pot here, you can see that it does fit the chamois cloth. You can fit a spork in here along with your lighter, and everything does fit inside. We don't have any issues, and you can see the stove here and the pot stand. It does work quite well. Personally, I don't really use it in the original configuration too much, which is this configuration. As you can see here, that it is quite tall, and it has a lot of holes in the top, so it doesn't really do too good in the wind when it's in this configuration. So usually what I do is I find it does take a little bit longer to boil, but I actually just leave it in the collapsed configuration, and I just pour my alcohol in here, and I will put the pot back on top, and you can see how much less gap there is between the stove and the actual bottom of my pot. And also there is a lot less gap for the wind to go in here and cause your stove to lose efficiency. So usually this is how I will use the pot. So I will set it down and use it like this. It's also a lot lower to the ground, so your center of gravity, you don't have your big pot of heavy water all the way up here. It is much lower to the ground, so your chance of knocking it over is significantly lower. And also it's much easier to light the stove as well, because the top of the stove is not way up here, so lighting the stove is easier, and you don't have to try to put on the pot stand when it's already lit and accidentally burn your hand. So I do find that just keeping it in the lower collapse state and putting your pot on top will help you to get a better boil, especially if you have windy conditions. One other thing that I did do was you will notice that in my actual pot support here, these are actually folded over. In the original design here, I don't remember if it was these ones here or if it was this one over here that is actually not folded over, and it's actually just straight up. And what I did here, as you can see, is I folded over the little edges here, so that you could possibly just sit the pot support like this on top of the knob here, so that will keep your bottom of your pot a little bit further away from the burner than if you were to keep it in the fully collapsed state. So you can see here it's a little bit higher. So in the fully collapsed state, we're looking at this. So you're adding about a centimeter of height, which can make a big difference if you're looking for efficiency. It does boil the water a little bit faster, I find, when it is a little bit higher. It does give the stove a little bit more oxygen to work with. So like I mentioned before, this is something that I will not usually bring for a full-on camping trip, but it is something that I will use on day hikes or just a day out fishing. So hopefully that does answer some of your questions and provides you with more information on how I use this pot set. And if you do have any questions or anything else that you want to know about this set, you can just ask in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer your questions. All right, thank you.